not often I feel tongue-tied. It's not often I feel nervous, but I do tonight. I do tonight. And I do because tonight is the, well, I know it's a bit preposterous. On the signs we put out, the posters we put out, it said a world first. It is a world first. You are present at a world premiere tonight. So welcome to that. It may be a total disaster, but if it is, it'll be my fault and not his. I've got to, it's a real pleasure and a privilege for me to welcome Connor. This is my nephew, Connor Owen. He's come from the UK. He's only here for 10 days. He's only here for another week because he's been here since Sunday. And I just admire his work. I admire his passion for his music. I admire everything about him. And I know that you're going to like his work tonight. But what we're going to do is to do something together. I'm a poet, as you know, and I'm just going to throw a few poems out here and there. They're in no particular order. We don't have any particular theme. We tried to do that. It didn't work, did it? It didn't work. So I'll just read a few poems. Connor will come in. He'll introduce his music to you and introduce himself to you, of course. And we'll see where it takes us. 3 poems to start, and I'm going to sit down. Making excuses. Aren't we, though, always? And then pretending, even to ourselves, not. How expedient it is. How normal, how beneath the dignity of cat or dog to whom it never occurs. But how much the smiling definition of our lives. Soft, unmistakable reek of what makes us what we are. There's really no excuse for this. If there is a theme tonight, it's love. In all its manifestations. I hope that will become evident as the evening goes on. Those of you who know me know that one of my big passions is the natural world, and in particular the rhino, what's happening to the rhino at the moment. Many of you will know about Tandy, the rhino who was attacked and mutilated over 3 years ago at the Karika Game Reserve just down the road from here, and how she survived against all the odds. 2 others died. That's miracle enough in its own right. But also you may know that recently she became a mother. She gave birth to a calf. And I was lucky enough to go and see the 2 of them just a week or so ago, and it is a delight. It is a delight. What I was impressed by was that the name Tandy in Isi Osa. Sorry, I did my best. Means love. And Tembi, the calf, means hope. This is a poem called What Love Really Is, for Tandy. Once in a while, the world smiles, and muck sinks to the bottom, where those so inclined can keep on gorging themselves, leaving the rest content. Every now and then, purely joy matters. Tenderness grows in the trees, unpicking our dreams to broadcast a tincture of each mind upon the air. On our odd days like these, we learn to distinguish our own features. A butchered white rhino gives birth to a calf that by rights ought never to have been. A mother whose name must mean courage, must mean honour, means strength, whose devastated face points to me, you, us. Our wounded, bleeding earth, our wrecked and hornless impotence, invites us once more to see and recognise our lives. For once in a while, the world smiles. This time, yes, a rhino has raised us to become who we are. She is Tandy, defaced, whose name, like her heart, means love. And a third poem is called So Do You, and it actually just represents a walk I took. We have a dog called Billy at the moment. Is he all right, Chris? Is he okay? But we've had a series of dogs, all of whom have been very close to us and very loving and delightful animals, and they've taught me a huge amount about being human, let alone about being a dog. Their names were Dora, Daisy, Bromley, who was a ridgeback, Billy, that we have now. They're mentioned in the poem. But imagine just walking, going for a walk. So do you. A fir tree leans like an inverted arrowhead from its ground, as if some lost god of the underworld were probing the evening air with an assegai. His spear's shaft, gobbed with pinkish flesh, is a resinous bloodstain clothed in loamy viscera. Here's our shared suffering, scabbed and coagulate, simply a life we all lead. No whimpering, no death. Billy leads the way. His happy collapse into dappled shade, untroubled rolling on his back, legs a flailing backstroke, have persuaded me to lie down too. Astounded weavers rasp their joy nearby. Starlings poke about stiffly for breakfast, and a warm sun shines above the breeze. Grinning, he cantilevers himself upright, shakes the world awake, ambles off to decipher a eucalyptus trunk. This walk is pure sex. You coughed. This walk is pure sex. Agapanthus penises stiffen to the sky. Amid Bohinia buttocks, orbs an invitation. Scrotal sacks of wild grasses pulsing. The clean semen scent privet. Whoever's doing the grass rolling, Dora, Daisy, Bromley, Billy, you or me, the pleasure's the same. Only the joy, the carnality of it here, or anywhere, is momentous. The dogs know this without thinking. Truth be told, so do I. Come now. Truth be told, so do you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Connor.
Well, thank you very much, Harry, for the lovely poems. And I'm going to try and keep it more PG-13. Clean it up a bit. Teach the old guys how to... Anyway, I'm not used to calling Harry because in my family we've known him as Barnes all my life, so I don't... it's odd hearing him being called Harry all over the place. But I'll call you Harry for tonight.
You call me what you like, I'll explain it to people.
But since I heard about Barnes been over here and doing some poetry evenings, I've always wanted to come out here and see it. And I'm very thankful to be here. And thank you guys for coming down and making me feel so welcome. And I'll play you a few songs now. So this first song is called The World and Me. And it's about that girl who she flutters around. She can't be tied down. You know, she's off. So this is called The World and Me.
Down
was born to wonder, have no fixed abode, no matter who lies the bed that she's in. Oh, how I want you, oh, and I need you, oh, my love, oh, when her soul So my next tune is going to be a song called "Wait for Me, Annie." Some people know this tune. So I went up and helped out my uncle at a program called Upstart, and I got to meet some fantastic young people who are interested in poetry. And I put my 2 cents in about writing lyrics and how they are quite similar. And I played this song for these guys. And I think they quite enjoyed it, so I'm going to play it again. So this is called "Wait for Me, Annie." So won't you wait for me, Annie? I'm not far behind. I'm tracing your footsteps against the incoming tide. I need to find you before they're washed away. So wait for me, Annie, I got something to say. I was a fool for running. I was a fool who was scared. I was a fool for leaving your side. Please, Annie, won't you be mine? So won't you wait for me, Annie, or I'll be a broken man. I'm trying to change, and I know that I can. So please believe me when I tell you that I love you, and you're the only girl in my life. I was a fool for running. I was a fool who was scared. I was a fool for leaving your side. Please, Annie, won't you be mine? Don't let this love count for nothing. Don't be the reason the tears in my eyes. 'Cause I know it was something. So Annie, please give me a try. Ooh, yeah. So won't you wait for me, Annie? So won't you wait for me, Annie? So won't you wait for me, Annie? I was a fool for running. I was a fool who was scared. I was a fool leaving your side. Please, Annie, won't you be mine? So I'm going to do one more tune. I think Barnes is going to come up and do, or Harry's going to come up and do a. But this next song is called "A Piece of Your Heart," and I wrote this a few years ago about a really, really good friend of mine, and he spoke to me on the phone and said, "Connor, I'm moving in with Fiona, this is his long-term girlfriend." I was like, "Yeah, nice one." And then I had a little think about it afterwards. Like, wow, I'm in no way anywhere near ready to move in with a girl. And I wrote this song for two reasons. One, because I wanted to maybe feel how he felt. So I wrote the song about how in love he must have been to make that decision. And it also served as a warning device for me. If I start to feel the way I've written about in this song, then I know that I'm going down a path of no return. So I listen to the song every now and again just to keep me in check. And but they actually got married last year, and I sang this song at their wedding, so it worked out all right for them. You know? So this song's called "A Piece of Your Heart." So I'm just going to do a little tune-up before I get on with this song. Because if you're going to do a song, you have to do it right. That I have to do. I'm not too good at tuning on the spot. But this is a piece of art. Do you find yourself lost in her eyes? Does your world seem to stop when she smiles? And I know she feels it too. So let her have a piece of your heart. Your heart. Your heart. And do you feel 10 feet tall when you're by her side? Will you protect her from harm for all your life? And I know she'll do the same. Let her have a piece of your heart. Your heart. Your heart. So tell me, brother, is it more than just lust? Is she the kind of girl you've been dreaming of? Does the touch of her hand comfort you? Does the sound of her voice ring loud and true? And I know she hears it too. Let her have a piece of your heart. So let her have a piece of your heart. So let her have a piece. So let her have a piece. So let her have a piece of your heart. And your heart. Thank you.
If anybody has been... Sorry?
That's about Barnes.
Oh no. I'll tell you that is not a poem. I promise you. It's a family nickname. I will tell you some. I've had it since I was about. I've read this before at Reddit's. But I just love it. But before I read the poem, I've got to read you the note at the back about the poem, because this is word for word. This is copied from the internet, from an MSN news feature. And this is what it said. A teenager spoke of her shock at finding a bat curled up in the bra that she'd been wearing for 5 hours. Abby Hawkins, 19, of Norwich, England, initially thought it was her mobile phone causing but when she investigated, she found the stowaway creature hidden in the padding of her 34FF black bra. That was the inspiration for this little poem, and it is short. I just had this picture of this girl at work in some boring job. He's phoning me again. He's phoning me again. It's called, you won't be surprised to hear, Abby on finding a bat in her bra. Not a squeak out of you, of course. The phone switched to silent at work as usual. But I knew you cared. Felt the mobile text of your warmth vibrating for hour on hour through the dark of our cell, as the closeness of your pipistrel ardour set my breast fluttering. That's the poem. I thought the MSN News thing was better. Last August, I was very fortunate that I was able to attend a wonderful poetry festival in Fermoy in County Cork in Ireland. And it's just if you know Ireland, you know it's a wonderful place anyway. And the cliche is that Irish hospitality is unparalleled in the world. But for me it was not a cliche, that's what I found. It was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Lots of this, of course, lots of Guinness, and hence lots of visits to the toilet. But that was only to allow you to have more Guinness. It's great. But the Irish, as you know, historically, they were known for being very poor. The potato famine and all the rest of it was part of their history. But a lot of the simple rural Irish people would burn turf from the peat turf out of the ground, dry it, and that would be their means of keeping warm in the winter. And the peat bogs were very, very important to them. But over years, especially in Liverpool, where I'm from, there's a lot of Irish people there, the word bog took on a different connotation. I see that some of you have heard of it as well. It means a toilet, and particularly a men's toilet, smelly places. I went into an Irish toilet in one of the pubs in Fermoy where we were doing the poetry. And there was a sign over the... Do you say urinal or urinal? Urinal. Urinal, I'll call it urinal. It was a sign over the urinal, and it said, and this is the epigraph to my poem, "Kindly don't throw your cigarette butts into the urinal. It makes them soggy and difficult to light." So imagine this toilet. Another sign. "Now wash your hands." Yes, of course. Message received. Ah, no dispenser, no soap. Turn on the tap. No water. Just a grumble of ancient plumbing. Or a dribble only, meagre, cold, tickling the fingertips. Flies still circle, still sneer. No towels. Use the hygienic hot air hand dryer. Push with the heel of your palm. Nothing, of course. But a gasp. It rattles like an empty mug on prison bars. Look around you. Nobody watching. Wipe your hands down the front of your jeans. Take one deep breath, open the door, face the world.
Yeah.
I call that a poem, believe it or not. I told Ismail over there before that there was a poem I was going to read tonight that had its genesis in the Guy Butler Theatre up at the Monument, and this indeed is that poem. It doesn't mention the Guy Butler Theatre, but I promise you that's where it was. 2-3 years ago, I was very fortunate, very fortunate, perhaps you were too, to see the wonderful pianist David Helfgott. Did any of you go and see his concert? Wonderful. He's the star of the film, or the subject of the film Shine. If you've seen that, you know what he's like. And Geoffrey Rush, who played him in that film, he could have been him. He was so good, so good. Of course, David Helfgott is genius as a musician, as far as I'm concerned, but he also suffered from schizoaffective disorder. He had a mental disorder. And so when he came onto the stage in the Guy Butler Theatre, there was just a big grand piano and people there, and instead of coming on in the traditional way, he was rushing through and shaking hands. Hello, how are you? Oh, it's lovely to meet you, lovely to meet you. And, oh, you're here, oh, it's lovely to see you. And then he sat down at the piano and started playing this gorgeous, romantic music. And it was as if, when he sat down, the piano went, oh, you're back. And as if the piano actually recognized him. Because then when he played, he was talking to the piano. And I think the piano was talking to him too. This poem is called Making Love to the Piano, for David Helfgott. Murmur. Stroke my face and kiss me. Whisper your desires. I love, am loved, I love. Undress, unlid me. Let the roughness of your cheek seduce. May my soul escape again into the world. Fill me with the gift of yourself, your hands like fresh, clean sheets, smoothing the music from my keys. We have earned this, you and I. We deserve this shining time. Come to me, David. Touch me here, my heart. Touch me now. And then the piano produced this wonderful music. I should tell you as well, one other little bit afterwards, I bought his CD. He was sitting there, and again he was, how are you? I went up to him, Howie, what's your name? Harry? Harry. And he grabbed me and he kissed me. And he had a big bristly cheek. So in here, where I mentioned the roughness of your cheek, that's what I was remembering. Where's Connor? Is he back? Yeah. Okay, Connor, I've got 2 poems, and then you're back again to take us to the break. Okay. This poem, I have to read it. I said love was the theme. This is probably the most, not explicit, that sounds wrong, but the most obvious love poem that I'm going to read tonight. And it's one that I remember writing it, I remember feeling it, and I remember who it was written to. There she is. Yeah, it is Chrissy. I mean, we knew each other at school decades ago, and then she disappeared and I disappeared, and we're back together again. This poem is called Like. I recall the separation, how it felt like birth, the being given up for immediate adoption, like dismissal or amputation. It felt like drowning. But for you, I never considered it, assumed you knew what you were doing, never thought that you too might be lost. I know better now. Others came in, occupied us, changed us, gave and took away, left our worlds different, taught us things, departed. And then, like raindrops on a window, like tears, we limped down the glass in aimless, moist swells, crept together again in a sudden wayward bliss of liquid recognition, and were one. Madness, loneliness, love. And here we are, like this. This is very different.
Wonderful.
This is very different. Shall I do this one, Connor? Past it, yeah.
You definitely should.
Yeah. This is from a long, long time ago. Long time ago. And it's at least, let's say it's based on a true story. Got that wrong. When I was a young man, 28 years old, just a year older than him, I met a young woman who was a lot younger than me. She was 19, and she was at university, the University of Exeter. We met elsewhere, and she said, "Why don't you come down to Exeter? And there's a thing going on. It's great. You'll have a great time, and all the rest of it." And I thought, "Why not? I'm 28. I know what I'm doing." And I went down there, and the story is correct in most details. It does. You'll tell how old I am because it refers to a discotheque. Do you know what a discotheque is? Here we are, and then I'm going to hastily sit down there and let Connor take us to the break with a couple of songs. Okay? Here we go. Past it. She is at university, beginning her career with the usual anomaly of politics and beer. She churns a new ingredient in the academic stew, enjoying soaking up the juice as she's expected to. A pride of lovers salts her life, to act as counterpoise, resuscitate her dying week, suppress the studious noise. Then Fridays, Saturdays, and more, she chooses one, and they, to sonic boomings, amplified, writhe mindless till the lay. How young you are, the music cries. Let's celebrate once more by dancing till you lose yourselves behind her bedroom door. Last week came Harry's turn to give, as once elsewhere, the needed Vita supplement to academic fare. At 28, he thought himself just old enough to know how best to act, how best be seen to keep this girl in tow. So he hastened down from London, anticipating night of passionate embraces, of fevered love till light. How young you are, the music cried. Go celebrate once more by dancing till you lose yourself behind her bedroom door. The bacchanalian ball, prelude to hoped-for carnal bliss, was alcoholic music loud to spice the sex-ripe kiss. He gave himself as best he could, considering the stake, to cataleptic carolings, though knew himself a fake. Inelegant, he throbbed and sparred in parody of dance, sensing youthful mockery implied in looks askance. And amplified inanities, insistent as his fate, scoffed to see he thought himself still young at 28. How old are you, the music sneered. By what nerve are you here? You cannot grace a discotheque. Old man, just disappear. He tried, half-hearted, to seduce his hostess when at last they lay beyond her bedroom door, but felt the chilling blast of juvenile indifference to practiced worldly charm, and knew that morning would demand retreat to soothe the harm. He wondered then, alone in bed, what madness had inspired this artless chase to Exeter, what germ his lust had fired. Rock music of another age contrived to relegate his sleep to fitful dreams that jeered, too old at 28. Connor, come and rescue me.
I hope I don't feel that way when I'm 28. I've still got some pretty good dance moves, I've got to say. Like, I can hold my own, I reckon. So, I'm actually going to do a song that probably quite similar to Barnes' last poem. It's called Love by Night. And this is a story of an older man falling for a younger girl, and her parents don't approve. So they're forced to share their love at night where no one else can see them. So this is it. It's called Love by Night.
Well, she's a thing of beauty. I'm from the average side of town. Well, her confidence is through me. Very brave, but only 18. I said, what are you doing? Talking to me this way. Are your parents think that I'm no good? That only break your heart. She said, I don't believe them. I think that this could work. So we share our love in secret to save them from the hurt. That's why we only love by night. Yeah, there's only bashful moonbeams to witness what we do. Yeah, no sunlight casts a shadow that falls into our view. We'll find the day on what it says about how we ought to live. We're free from expectations and all we have to give. Ourselves at 5 o'clock on a sunny afternoon. Well, the father came on early, he was kicked out of the bar, and our mother heard it coming, and it wasn't from afar. They burst straight through that door and chased me from that room, and said, if I see you back around here, I'll bury you in the dirt. That's why we love by night. Yeah, there's only bashful moonbeams to witness what we do. Yeah, no sunlight will cast a shadow that falls into our view. We avoid the day on what it says about how we ought to live. We're free from expectations and all we have to give is our love. Since I was kicked out of that room, we've kept our romance going. We've found a way to work. We live in the north of Norway for 6 months a year at least. And when the sun rises, Antarctica it is, we still love by night. Yeah, there's only bashful moonbeams to witness what we do. There's no sunlight will cast a shadow that falls into our view. And we avoid the day on what it says about how we ought to live. We're free from expectations and all we have to give is our love. Our love. Only love like thank you. So I'm going to bring this first half to a close now with a song called One Step at a Time, which coincidentally is the title track of this wonderful EP of mine that I have with me. I only have 17 left with me, so it's 60 rounds by themselves, or Harry and I got a deal. One of Harry's books, you can get them separately for 60 rounds also, or together, one of my CDs and one of Harry's books, 100 rand.
Wow!
Hotcakes.
Well, I said they're limited. There's only 17 with me.
I've got as many books as you want.
So I was fortunate enough last summer to be invited by a record label to do some recording for them, and that's what happened. That's what came out, and this is the title track of it. But the recorded version is full: drums, guitars, bass, all sorts of instruments. So pick one up. This is called One Step at a Time.
troubles mount, leave you in a shadow of worry and fear. You get teary-eyed, oh so overwhelmed. So let the tears roll and the sorrow pour from your heart and soul. Cry no more for tomorrow. Piece you back together. We'll take it just one step at a time. Just one foot after the other. There ain't no mountain to climb. Get there together, be just fine. Just one step at a time. When you feel alone, you're surrounded by the people that care for you most. You get all shook up, start to question why. Why am I here? Why should I choose to survive? When the thought of love is what hurts the most, but don't you worry. I'm here to be your guide. We'll take it just one step at a time. Just one foot after the other. There ain't no mountain to climb. Get there together, be just fine. Just one step at a time. There are dark days up ahead, but I see a light. There's a bright future for you. The end is in sight. All you got to do is take it just one step at a time. Just one foot after the other. There ain't no mountain to climb. Get there together, be just fine. Just one step at a time. Get there together, be just fine. Just one step at a time. Thank you very much, guys.
Okay, here we go again. It's all Connor's hands.
Yeah, welcome back, guys. Thanks for sticking around.
Yay!
This next song is called The Average Man, and I wrote this one. I lived in the north of Holland for a while, and I was working in an Irish bar, and I got to meet so many fantastic people, but a lot of them were Portuguese, Polish, Irish, all immigrants, and they were having to work away from home to save up a little bit of money to send home to their families back wherever they were. But I had a great time having fun with them, having a few drinks, watching the sport. But there was a little bit of sadness in their eyes because they really wanted to be at home with their families. But this is about me enjoying my time with them. This is called The Average Man.
Love the girls, I love to poke. I work all day and night to a van, don't need a Porsche as long as it's got wheels. It's good for me. 'Cause I know who I am. I don't think I'm no Superman. I'm just doing all I can to get by in this world. Oh, I'm the average man. I spend my days on a fishing boat. I spend my ways going down my throat. I drink until the sun shines for tomorrow. I love my friends and my family. Always have been there for me, so I'll sing the song for us and them for you. I know who I am. I don't think I'm no Superman. I'm just doing all I can to get by in this world. Whoa, I'm the average man. Whoa, I'm the average man. So I roll through my days with a smile on my face. 'Cause being happy is a choice that I make, while freedom is my only dream. I know who I am. I don't think I'm a Superman. I'm just doing all I can to get by in this world. Oh, I'm the average man. Oh, I'm the average man. Oh, I'm the average man.
And that's the last track on this CD, this wonderful CD. A friend of mine who's the guitarist, he came to the studio with me and he recorded the most amazing chicken picking country guitar solo on there. So I'd even buy the CD just to hear that, to be honest, just that solo. Right. So I'm gonna do a tune now and then pass it over to Harry or Barnes. Don't know which one he's gonna be tonight, but this is called Late Night Drive, and I wrote this just about the thing that I do to unwind or de-stress is just hop in my van and go for a drive at night. That's about it. Maybe go around the block a few times, maybe drive half an hour down the road, anything. But it just I find it really therapeutic. So this is a song called Late Night Drive.
Nothing like a late night drive to clear my mind. I get lost along the empty streets. Ain't looking to go to any place in particular. So for down the map, the stars will be my guide. So I drive real slow till I see the morning's glow, and it feels good to be alive. Ain't nothing like a late night drive. Don't come back by 10 the next morning. Won't you tell my ma I've become a traveling light? If she asks you when I might be returning, won't you tell her that I'll stop by if I can? real slow till I see the morning glow, and it feels good to be alive. Ain't nothing like a late night drive. Drive real slow till I see the morning glow, and it feels good to be alive. Ain't nothing like a late night drive. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to make the mood a little more somber, I suppose, but that song perhaps brought the mood down a little bit. It's very pleasant, but quieter. This poem I wrote when somebody told me, I may be wrong about this, but somebody did tell me that occasionally when somebody dies, in various cultures, a beast is slaughtered. As is often happens. But that I knew. What I didn't know was what... Are you okay? Please, Ola, come and...
Sorry, I was just in the way there, so...
No, come in, please.
Start blocking.
For those who don't know, this is Orla Quinlan, and she's Irish. Welcome, Owen. It's lovely to have you. As I was saying, that there is a beast that is slaughtered for part of the celebrations or the commemorations of the person who's died. What I didn't realise is that in some cultures, it's the way that the beast is slaughtered. They try to get it to bellow, to make loud noises, and the louder the noises, the more honouring of the departed there is. I don't know whether this is true or not, but it's something that was told to me and something that made me think. And I thought about if I wrote my will, for example. I haven't written a will yet. I should do that now that I think about it. Sometimes you want to add something to it. It's called a codicil. You add the codicil to the end, and that's what this poem is called. And I just thought maybe I would want to add something to the end of my will, thinking of those things that I just mentioned. Codicil. When I depart to meet the ancestors, don't make anything bellow for me. Such screams of wretchedness never pleased, though I've both suffered and inflicted grief. Tether no beast in the kraal for me, prepare no sacrifice, slit no throat, but look that animal in the eyes. See yourself there, see me. Like yours, its suffering is also mine. Free us from the torments of those who bleed. Show mercy, respect each feeling thing. Haven't our ancestors endured long enough? So as I pass on, I cast you this instruction. Don't make anything bellow for me. Long deaths and agonies never delighted, but love did, love did. Remember this.
Oh, wow.
This poem I want to read. When I came back from Ireland last year, Ireland seems to be cropping up a lot on the subject. When I came back from that trip to Ireland last year, the Fermoy Poetry Festival, one of the first things I saw when I came back, walking through the Rhodes campus, was a whole on the lawns in front of the main building. I saw a whole series of white sticks in the grass, lots of them in rows. And when I went closer to, out of curiosity to see what it was, on each of them was written the name of a child who had died And these children had been, just in a short period, had died in Gaza, in Palestine. And I'm not a big political individual at all, but I was touched by their idea that these children, innocents, had died in a war that they had nothing to do with, really. They were just caught in the middle of it. And there were enough people here who didn't want to rant about it, but wanted to make the point simply by putting these sticks in with a name and sometimes a little bit of extra detail on it. And I was very moved by this. And I was walking through town, as I do with Billy the dog. Billy comes into this again, he's everywhere. And this poem came out of it. I called it Children of Israel, not out of any sense of mocking or hurt, but it seemed to me that the children of Israel, the children of Gaza, the children of Grahamstown are all the same. I stroll down Donkin Street with Billy the dog, and I'm drenched with fragrances, curling like mists, like arms from the trees. Cascades of perfume, bohenia, jasmine, wisteria. And the knowledge that this, my peaceful fortune, is as pure and undeserved as mountain waterfalls. God or no God, these are blessings. Blessings. Mohammed Ramiz Bakr, age 11. Where are yours? Dina Omar Aziz, 5 years. Yours? Carefree schoolgirls jog or saunter through the botanical gardens, laughing, hooting, calling out, smiling a polite "Good afternoon, sir," to me, as now I head once more toward the university lawns. A simple Gaza memorial under gentlest spring skies, lines of white sticks of children's names. Wasim Issam Suhibar, age 8. Lama Faiz Brika, 1 year. Bara Akram Mekdad, age 7, male. Jamal Mohammed Abdel Rabo, 1.5 years old. Nada Tahir Al-Astal, 5 years, female. Rahaf Khalil Al-Jabur, age 4. Above my head, an aureole pours out its balm. Wasim Rida Saliyah, male, age 15. Fatima Ahmed Al-Arja, 16 years, female. Dalal Nabil Siam, 9 months, female. Mohammed Nahid Mikdad, 13 years old, male. Ahlam Mosa Abu Jarad, age 14. Ahed Ataf Baka, 10. There is rain in the air. There are tears. Maram Ahmed El Helu, age 2. Qasim Hamed Ulwan, 4. Musa Abdel Rahman Abu Jarad, 8 months. 8 months. 8 months. Wala Ismail Abu Nsalam, age 14. Mariam Atiya Al-Arja, age 9, R.I.P. Hussein Youssef Kawari, 12. Hamia Abdel Rahman Abu Jarad, 2. Yasmin Mohammed Al-Mutawak, she was just 3 years old. And there are 400 names here, a drop in the ocean. Billy the dog, Jasmine, waterfalls, an aureole. Names. These are blessings. We bestow them as best we can. Okay. 2 shortish poems to finish, and then Connor can come back again. I might have to embarrass myself here in front of the cameras by putting my glasses on. Both of these poems come from, if you're interested, my latest collection, Small Stones for Bromley. Bromley was another dog. Dogs are everywhere. Do you mind if I put the glasses on?
No.
Of course. You won't mock me, you won't remind me of this at some future date. Okay.
And some of us wear glasses too.
But you're content not to pretend that you don't. Reading glasses. I never thought I'd need reading glasses, and now I've got to do what Chrissy does: stare away, intimidate people. Are you intimidated? I'm going to read 2 poems from here. This one perhaps follows on from what I've just read, Because it seems to me that it's too easy sometimes to pretend that because things are good for us, they're good for everybody. I don't want to be miserable or morbid about things, but sometimes I'm the one that needs to be reminded. And this poem is really a reminder to myself. It's called Say Something. Say something about us, about scarcity, squalor, disease, about avarice, lust and massacre, about bloodshed, torture, crime, about celebrity, ignorance and bling, about politics. Say something about Syria, Libya, Afghanistan. Say something about Nairobi and 1,000 other wretched places. Say something about war. Say something about sweatshops, jobs and slavery, about poisoning, pollution and pimps, about fracking the Karoo, the obscene nonsense of sustainable growth, about things that waste and die, that we're killing along with ourselves, about China. Say something about elephant, rhino and lion, about tiger, orangutan, pangolin, condor, dolphin and whale. Say something about the planet, our lovely threatened globe, about me, about ours, about us. Say something about sickness of the body, of the TV mind, of the right to speak out, of the heart, of the soul, about death, about death, about death. Say something about husbands, wives and daughters, about sisters, brothers, sons. Say something about corruption, about murder and rape, about loneliness, sorrow, wickedness, despair. Say something about gods and gullibility, about faith, about bigotry, about sin, about daydreams and night terrors, the childish compulsion to believe. Then pause and say something. If you can, whisper it, about peace, about hope, about life. Say something about them, about us, the same, we're the same. Some honour, some decency, some light, some love. Not gods, not spirits, not heavens, not hells, but us alone. Something that we are. Speak it, and speak it, and speak it. Speak us. Okay, that's that one. Finally, before Connor comes back, this little poem is the last poem in the book. It's always tricky to find what you put the last poem of the book. And this one is just called To, as in when you put on an envelope to who it's addressed to. It's to with a colon after it, like that. And I suppose I'm hoping that this is addressed to somebody. Here it is. To you, the one being born now, this instant, whom I will never meet or see, whose smile or agony I will never share, whose voice is like the shape of the life you embark upon, still thin and unformed, still creeping towards your poetry. Know that I'm thinking of you, offer you my own smiles and agonies, to tell you you're not alone, or rather that you are, and this is good. Here, borrow my voice for a time, and I'll borrow yours. May we both live rooted in the world. May we both sing our songs about it. That's it.
Okay, I've just got 3 tunes for you before I leave. I wasn't sure what order to do these in, so I'm just going to kind of make it up as I go along. But I thought I should play this one, and it's called The Here and Now. When I was off travelling around, I lived in my van for a few months, just driving around Europe, putting a finger on a map and saying, oh, that's where I'll go next. And I decided that, just to live in the here and the now. So this song's called The Here and Now. So hold me close, let me feel the warmth of your soul, and draw a deep breath, so you'll never let me go. And just stay here in the morning and watch the sunrise. Feel that love in our hearts that lasts the rest of our lives. But I've heard the love
loving's for fools. If you open your heart, then your love is misused. And I've heard that love never lasts, always destined to be in the past. But I love you in this moment, darling, and I love you today. And I don't think about what tomorrow will bring, 'cause I love you in the here and now. Ooh, I love you in the here and now. When evening comes, won't you turn the lights down low? Turn off the TV, turn down the radio, and tell me all of your secrets, and I will tell you mine. Now that our souls have a mate, let our bodies intertwine. But I've heard that loving's for fools. If you open your heart, then your love is misused. And I've heard that love never lasts, always destined to be in the past. But I love you in this moment, darling, and I love you today. And I don't think about what tomorrow will bring, 'cause I love you in the here and now. Ooh, I love you in the here and now. And Cause I love you in this moment, darling, and I love you today. Oh, I don't think about what tomorrow will bring, 'cause I love you in the here and now. Oh, I love you in the here and now. I love you in the here and now. Yeah.
So this next song has got an Irish theme, actually, like many of Harry's. This is a song called O'Kelly's Song, and I'm sure I spoke to you about it before when I was talking about a song of mine called The Average Man. When I was living in the north of Holland, I was working in an Irish bar called O'Kelly's, and had the best 3 months of my life, possibly. Still a lot of my life to come, but so far it's the best 3. And I just wouldn't change a thing about being there, about the things I did there and the people I met there. So I wrote this song about the bar and about my friends. So this is called O'Kelly's Song.
When I am an old man, I've my hopes and dreams, see everything I ever wanted to see. I retired to O'Kelly's, I brought up my drinking friends, with Paddy, Rory and Brian, we'll live it again. Those behind the bar, some smile by the pint, we'll reminisce for hours, laugh and joke all night.
it all again this week. I do it all again this week. When my voice is gone, my songs have been sung, I know that it's time for me to leave. But not without one last job, Kelly's Irish Bar, a home away from home for those in need. Where Kish sings the songs, losing lovers all night, and Jerry talks of coupling as we share our last night. And in my old age, my youth yesterday, there's one thing I can say, I'll do it all again this way. I'll do it all again this way. No regrets and a great big smile, I'll say, I'll do it all again this way. My head held high, full of pride, I'll say, I'll do it all again this way. I'll do it all again this way. Okay, so this brings me on to my my last tune of the evening. Yeah, so thank you very much for coming down, and I'd like to say a big thank you to Harry for organising this and treating me very well as a visitor to your country. And I've had a great time so far, and I'm sure I'm going to have a great time for the next week that I'm here. So thank you very much, guys, and thank you to Harry for putting this on. Cheers! So I haven't played this song in a long time, maybe 2 or 3 years, maybe 2. And it's a song called All That I Need. And it's about the grandma on my mum's side, so no relation to Barnes or Harry. So she comes from an Irish family, and she unfortunately had a very angry Irish man as a husband. So this is called All That I Need. Her face was just as pale as snowflake. Her body just as frail as an autumn leaf. Her strength was drained away by a foolish man. And now she talks to God and hopes he'll understand. And she says, give me all that I need. Give me all that I need. Give me all that I need to find the strength to walk away, and a will to make a change. Give me all that I need. 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 She grabs her car keys and packs a suitcase. Then starts to pen a note of last goodbyes. Dear children, I love you all, and I'll be back for you in a while. Just read this
know I left you, and I hope you understand. And it said, give me all that I need. Give me all that I need. Give me all that I need to find the strength to walk away. Ooh, and the will to make a change. Give me all that I need. 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 And now the years have passed her by, and she's happy with her new life. She found a peace of mind. Give me all that I need. Give me all that I need. Give me all that I need to find strength to walk away. Ooh, and the will to make a change. Give me all that I need. 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 Very much.
I don't want to stand up. I can't tell you how I'm quite choked how affected I am by being able to work with Connor here today. So it really is a first. What I like, I love his music. I love him because he's a member of the family, even if he does call me Barnes the Bastard. But what I love is that his music and his lyrics, they're filled with feeling, they're filled with love, they're filled with what it means to be human. I was just sitting there thinking of, you'll know this, Andrew, E. Cummings' lines, since feeling is first, who pays any attention to the syntax of things will never wholly kiss you. Well, I've got to say, as far as I'm concerned, in his music, in his life, in his personality, speaking metaphorically, of course, Connor, I think, wholly kisses us. I think that's it's the feeling, it's the emotion that goes behind it. I know I'm speaking from bias here, I know it's my family, all the rest of it, but I really feel that comes across in his music. And I feel very pleased, very delighted, honoured even, to be here tonight with him. Thank you for being here. I hope you'll come back again at some point in the future and sing for us again.
Hope so. Hope so too.
Can I, yeah, why not? One last thing to say. I don't know if he would want me to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway, and I hope you'll agree with me. I know that he's been trying to write a song while he's been here in South Africa.
Oh God.
Are you going to be able to?
I'll give it a bash.
Give it a bash.
I'll give it a go.
Could you finish off with that?
Yeah. Okay. I'll give it a go. So, I wrote the lyrics to this song maybe 2 months ago, or 3 months ago, when I was living in France, because I have a good job where I go to France and I play music for the people on a skiing holiday, but I don't really enjoy it too much because I'm wallpaper. I go to these 5-star hotels and I wear a suit and I play cover songs, and I can go for 4 hours of playing music and I won't get one clap. I won't get one eye contact, one bit of eye contact with anyone. So I wrote this song when I was over there, and I only wrote one song whilst I was in France because I had a bit of a block because I found it very hard to feel like writing when when I wasn't feeling the love from people. But so I had the lyrics, and I got to South Africa on Sunday, and I got this guitar from a guy called Lawrence for me to play here tonight. So thank you to him. I know he's gone now, but whenever I get a new toy, I have to play around with it. And I found that the guitar music to the lyrics I wrote kind of came out. So I kind of finished the song that I started a few months ago, and I finished it in Barnes and Chrissy's annex. This is called Do You Think About Me Too? It's just a little fun song. I hope I remember all the words because I wasn't prepared for this. So this is called Do You Think About Me Too? I just did something I didn't want to do. I thought about you, do you think about me too? I think about you, do you think about me too? I think about you, do you think about me too? I often think if you were mine, but I'd take you out all the time. Get my third foot on a shirt, take you out for an Italian meal. What do you think about that? Tell me, how do you feel? I think about you, do you think about me too? I think about you, do you think about me too? Cause I think about you, do you think about me too? Baby, at your wine and dine. I got the words coming in a second. Not half bad, you give me a chance. Don't, I don't know. This song is really annoying me. I think about you, you think about me too. I think about you, you think about me too. Cause I think about you, you think about me too. Oh, I think about you, you think about me too. I think about you, you think about me. Oh, do you think about me? That's it. Nearly got it.
We've got to come back and sing it again. Thank you everybody for coming out tonight. I know there's lots going on in Grahamstown tonight. It's wonderful to have this audience here, and I'm particularly pleased for Connor that he was worried that nobody would turn up and he'd be singing as wallpaper. Thanks again for coming out. It's absolutely brilliant to have you here. And thank you to Connor Owen.
Oh, yeah. And Harry Owen, everyone. Harry Owen.
That's all got the rap.